11. That's the number of new features Canva rolled out in this month of January, and in this video, we are going to review them all. Let's go. What is going on, everyone? Ronnie here. Welcome back to our channel. I am always pumped to talk about the new stuff in Canva. This is our star series on the channel. It's called What's Hot in Canva. This is episode 36, and we are going to talk about everything that's new in Canva. I have a lot of things to cover in this episode. So yeah, let's just start with the first new feature. And we are going to start talking about what's new in Docs. The first new feature is customizable dividers are now being introduced to your Canva Docs. So let me show you how that works. I have a Canva document right here. So you see it's just a template that I chose from the templates button right here. I think it's one of these. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to collapse this panel. Just showing you it's a normal Canva doc. All right, so what I want to show you is that you can now kind of segment your document by adding nice customizable dividers. So I'm going to create space here, and I'm going to use the little plus button and scroll down to find divider. Okay, so I'm going to click here, and what you see here, this line that has been introduced is your divider. Now, this is good, right? It's not too bad, but we can customize this. So just click on it and then use this little button right here that says divider style. This is where the magic will start to happen. For example, I'm going to make this kind of like wider, this line wider, and I'm going to go for dots or dash. I'm going to go for dots. A few other options you have here. You could go for rounded endpoints or straight endpoints. Okay, I'm going to go for rounded. I think this looks nice. And then if you switch over to the other button, the one that says border color, if you click here, then you can change the color of your divider. Okay, very quick and easy. Now let me give you one pro tip that will make your divider extra popping and give your Canva Docs that extra oomph. And the tip is this: instead of using a plain color, go to your color button right here to add a new color and choose the gradients tab. If you click on gradient, then you can create your very own gradient. You see my divider has already been transformed into a gradient. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to customize the colors of my gradient with the little color picker, and I'm going to go from this yellow on the first color right here, and then the second color. Similarly, I'm going to grab this orange right here. And now I have a divider that kind of like resonates with the colors of my photo right here. What I could do is to add an extra line here. I could make this divider even thicker, maybe 10. 10, it's a bit much. Let's stick with 8. I can reduce its size like so. And there we go. We have this very cool divider. Now I can adjust everything here. If I want to make the space here a little bit smaller, I could go for 12. And now I have this very cool 12 and 12 divider right here. I can copy it. I can scroll down to the next section of my project and paste it with Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. And just like that, I can very easily create sections in my document with these dividers. There you go. I have zoomed out a little bit to show you the impact on my dividers on this doc. So in my opinion, what it adds is readability. You really structure your document into very clear sections. And on top of that, it looks great because you can customize it using consistent colors with what's already in your Canva Docs. So this is going to be available to all users, free and pro, and you will be able to access this feature both on your mobile or on your desktop. All right, moving on to the next feature. The next feature is also related to the Canva Docs, and it's called Dates and Mentions in Canva Docs. And to demonstrate it, I'm going to come back to the exact same Canva doc that I just showed you earlier with my dividers. So first of all, let's say I want to add a date right here to my document. So before this overview text right here, I want to add a date, the date of the document. To show you that, I'm going to zoom in first so we can really see what I'm doing here. I'm going to use this plus button again. I could have used the keyboard slash on my keyboard, the slash key. So here, I'm going to start typing date. You see? So you could add a date by simply typing date in the menu and searching for it. So date right here, and Canva will give you a few different options. You can select today's date, tomorrow, yesterday, or simply select a date. So I'm going to use today's date, February the 2nd. This is a little bit big, so maybe what I'm going to do is to select this and to reduce its size to, let's say, 22. That's still too big in my opinion, so I'm going to go 16, and now this is good. I want this to be maybe aligned and justified to the right here. So February the 2nd, 2024. If I click here, I can now change the date very easily. So I know, for example, this tutorial is going to go live on our channel on February the 15th. So I could just adjust the date, and now all of a sudden it's today for you guys. Ta-da! Right, that looks great. Now, I'm going to scroll down a little bit in my doc and find this section right here. The project is where we describe the project. I have goals, and in this goals section, I want to tag someone from my team because that's also relevant to them. I want them to be aware, look, this is the goal we have set for this quarter, and we need to nail that goal before the end of the season. So I can now add a mention in the text of my document so that the other person will receive a notification and be drawn directly to this particular section. So how do you do this? So first, I'm going to add an emoji right here, the eyes emoji, and then I'm going to simply create the @mention, and from here I can select someone from my team. I'm just going to type in Diana. Okay, and I'm going to tag Diana right here. Again, I can make that much smaller. So let's make her, for example, size 10. So now I have goals, a tag to Diana, and I could like this tag several people in my team, and I could tag them in different parts of my document. What's going to happen on the other side, they are going to receive a notification in their notification center on their Canva homepage. So that is pretty cool. I love that we are getting more and more of these, I would say, convenient features in Canva Docs. And yeah, that is the second big improvement, I would say, for Canva Docs. Again, this is available for all users on all platforms. The third feature I want to talk about is still related to Docs. A lot of new Docs feature this month. This one is called full width images and videos in Canva Docs. So back to my Canva doc right here, this feature allows us to stretch our media, images and videos all the way to the edges of my document, like so. Before, this was not possible. We had to stay kind of like within the safe zone of the document, but now I can stretch all the way to the edge of the page, okay? I don't think I can go and stick my header all the way to the top of my document. It needs to be there. Yep, it needs to be there. Sorry, I just tried to hit the delete key to see if there was any space here I could delete, but no. Right, so we've seen that this works for images, but Canva also promises it to work with videos. So I don't think there is any videos in this document. So what I'm going to do is to replace this visual for a video. Okay, so I need to make some space, for example, right here, adding some space. I'm going to push the plus button and go search for video. Okay, so I can scroll down to videos, and in videos, I can search from here, or I could type video of a cake. Is that going to work? Video of a cake? Yes, video of a cake will work. So let's grab this chocolate cake right here. Looks delicious. Oh yes, I could definitely put that in my mouth. Okay, so the promise is that this video could stretch, and there you go. It does stretch to be full width on my page. Now, there's one last thing I would like to try here is to paste a YouTube URL, right? So technically this wouldn't be considered as a video, but mostly as an embed. All right, so I'm just going to paste the YouTube URL here. There you go. So that's one of our latest tutorials on the channel called Character Design with Canva and AI, which I highly, but highly recommend you check out next, because I really go into details and helping you craft cute, adorable characters for your children's bedtime stories. But the question is, this is not relevant, Ronnie, stop pitching your other videos in this video. The question is, can it stretch to the edges? So let's try, and the answer is no. Not at the moment. All right, so what I could do from here is have it like so. I cannot stretch it all the way, if I want it stretched all the way, I need to upload that natively into Canva, which is not going to be very practical given that this video is over an hour. So not for today. All right, so this was showing you that Canva Docs now allow you to spread your images and video full width to create this nice modern looking document. So really, really like that. And then last but not least, the last of the 4 new features coming to Canva Docs this month is that you can publish your docs as a website. Okay, so let's come back to this beautiful document that we've made, design brief, and let's try to publish it as a website. So in order to do so, what you'll have to do is to click on the share button, find the website button right here, just click on it. And then from here, you can choose between the classic website options. So free domain, purchase a new domain, use an existing domain. Here, I'm just gonna make it easy for everyone and go with the free domain. So continue, can customize the slug right here. So divider in docs, that's fine. I'll just call this divider in docs, that's fine. I could add a description, which I'm not gonna do right now. You could choose different things here, a thumbnail for your website, which I'm not gonna do right now. I'm just gonna hit publish. And Canva is going to prepare my document, which now has become a website, and make it available online for everyone to visit. And give me a URL right here that I can now copy very easily with the copy button, or I can simply visit the website from here. I'm gonna zoom out and show you, okay, so that's interesting how the full width banner right here, the full width header is looking on my document. So I'm zooming in and out here with my mouse. If you see the zoom effect here, let's put this to 100% so you can see how it looks. So there is kind of a disconnect between the banner, which is fixed, but also I'm using a very, like a 27-inch screen right here. So I guess if I resize this screen, the banner will resize as well. But so far, that's how it looks. So the full width thing kind of looks cool because on your website, like you see this on a lot of websites, like full width images, full width media showing up. But I guess this whole thing would look better if I was watching it from a smaller screen. Just know that everything you put full screen will occupy the full real estate of your screen. Now, if I was watching this on my mobile, it would be consistent. Like this column of text that we see here would be kind of like the same size as the full width banner. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. That's 4 new features in your Canva Docs. Let's move on to what's new in charts. All right, guys, how are we doing? Are you enjoying the new features of this month? If so, leave us a like. This will always help us as YouTubers. You know the drill. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, now would be a great time to do so. Also, check out the join button if you're interested in getting access to more content. Like we have this membership here on YouTube where we give our members the option between 2 different tiers. You can support us with tier 1, and you can really go deeper and access our courses, live sessions, and our repository of AI prompts as well by becoming a Rundyship member. That was my pitch for the membership. If you want to check it out, it's the join button right here underneath this video. Now back to the tutorial and let's talk about what's new in charts. There is one novelty for charts this month, and that is the color handles in charts data tables. So the name of that feature is a little bit complicated, but the feature really is straightforward. So in order to show you, I am going to go to my Elements tab, scroll down to the Charts section right here, I'm gonna see all, and I'm gonna go use one of the newest charts, like this interactive bubbles right here. So there you go. So what is new here are these little color like squares, I would say, in front of every group of data. You can expand the table so you see everything more clearly. So you see these little color like swatches. I can right click on them and edit the color. All right. So in order to show you the impact of changing the color, because that's what the feature is all about, I'm going to close this and work on group 1 right here. So this group right here, I'm going to change that color of group 1. I'm going to edit it and let's go for this magenta color right here. And you see now this series of like subgroup 1, 2, 3 has changed the color. All right. So it has edited the color of my series. And so this feature allows us to, at a glance, look at the data and see, okay, this is this group right here. So it really allows us to navigate the data in the visualization much more quickly. So here I would probably change one of these two blue colors, probably the darker one for something very distinct. For example, I could go with that green color, for example. Yeah, pretty cool. Also, make sure to check out the latest interactive charts. These ones are pretty cool. You see, you can click on any of the elements like subgroup, group, and the entire thing. So that is pretty cool. The way you can zoom in and out of these graphs, it's just pretty convenient. So here, again, the novelty is these color codes right here that you can add to specific groups of data that will be obviously represented in your data visualization. This feature is going to be available to all Canva users on mobile, desktop, free, pro. Everyone gets access to this. And that's all I have for charts for this week. Now, I'm going to move over to the last category of new features, and this one has to do with, UI, UX tweaks, so little improvement that Canva brought to its platform. They're not groundbreaking new features. It's not like introducing something big and magical. It's just like little improvements that will make your life easier as a Canva user, which in my opinion is always a great thing. Like when a platform kind of like fine-tunes what's already good, it's always a good sign. The first one of these new UI UX improvement is called Draw Visual Signifier. What the heck is that? Well, let me show you. It has to do with the draw feature. Okay, so go to your draw tab or button right here in the object panel. This should bring on the different like pens, markers, highlighters, the eraser. So the novelty is that now you see if I choose the pen, for example, and I click on the color, let's say I want this color, this blue color for the pen. I come to my page and I can just write with my pen, right? Nothing special so far. But if I use the settings right here and I make that pen bigger, you see that little dot next to my pen right here? It shows me the size of my brush, the size of my pen, right? So if I come all the way here, now I have a much bigger pen to write with. Okay, so that's what the improvement is all about. If I choose the marker, similarly, like let's change this red color for something nicer, this pink, this branded roundy pink color. And I go similarly to the settings here. I'm gonna add more weight to this marker. I'm gonna make it about this big. You can also play around with transparency. And you see this is also represented in that little bubble. I believe this should also show when you use it. See, when you click, it becomes the same, like the transparency is respected. So if I add less transparency, if I go 100% here, and if I start writing, you see how the little circle is now not transparent at all. So this is a nice little improvement. Works with the 3 types of pens, markers, and highlighters. Okay, so let me show you the highlighter just to make that clear. You see, now you can highlight. So this one has some transparency. You can get rid of that. And now you can write in a different way. So like I told you, not a groundbreaking feature, but a nice little UX user experience improvement in my opinion. And since I have you here talking about the draw feature, there's another improvement. And this one is called Smart Color Recommendations. All right, so let me show you what it is. Again, this is going to be free on desktop and mobile, so everyone can enjoy this. So this is basically Canva limiting or fine-tuning the selection of colors for each one of these 3 tools. So the pen will have a different set of colors. Obviously, you can still use any color. So first of all, let me delete all of that junk right here. There you go. And yes, show you. So select the pen, select the color button. Obviously, like I was saying, you can still use any color, right? This is totally your choice. You can create any color you want with the add new color button. But if you scroll the way down, you see pen colors. So these are, I would say, classic pen colors that Canva selected for us. Okay, so you have your dark blue. There you go. That's very thick. So let's go for a lighter touch. There you go. So you have this color, and then you have all the other, I would say, classic pen colors. Colors that make sense for a pen. And similarly, Canva has selected another color palette for the marker. For example, example. So in order to find it, again, select your marker color button, go all the way down, and you'll see marker colors. So you have here, I would say, the typical markers you would find next to a whiteboard. Okay, you have your black, your red, your orange, yellow, green, and blue. And then Canva likes to stay on brand at all times, so they have added like these 3 more Canva-like colors. But yeah, I would say these 6 are the main colors for markers. And then last but not least, you have the highlighter. Again, if you click here, you will find your, I would say, classical highlighting colors, right? Like your Stabilo Boss type of highlighters. You'll have your orange, yellow, green, kind of like teal, blue, purple, and pink. So yeah, there you go. That is the little tweak in the user experience. I think that it's nice that Canva is adding these little touches again to make the tools more realistic, like more like they would be in real life in a non-digital setting. So yeah, I appreciate that. This next new feature is related to grids, and it's kind of like the continuation of what Canva has been doing with images, with videos, with frames, all kinds of media, and that is to give us borders and corner settings, right? So now you can adjust the corners and the borders of your grids as well. So let me show you how that works from a blank sheet right here. I'm going to go to my Elements tab, okay, get out of Charts, and scroll all the way to Grids right here. You can click on See All, and you can choose a grid, okay, among all of these different grids right here. And I'm going to select this one with 4 different placeholders, all right? So next, what I'll do is to simply go to my uploads and start populating these grids. So there you go, 4 beautiful roundy images right here. So this is still a grid, right? This is still my grid. I can make that bigger if I want. Everything will stretch. And the novelty is that if you select your entire grid like so and go to your borders and style like so, you can now add a border. Okay, let me put a color in this background. Put this blue background so you can see the white border I just added. Okay, so again, select everything. Don't just click on it, because if you click on it, you will most likely select one of the placeholders, right? So this is something I noticed by practicing before shooting this tutorial. It's better to drag and select the entire grid so that you modify every single placeholder at the same time. This is a nice little tip. So click on border style. I can now add a thicker or smaller or narrower border, like a thinner border, like so. I can now play with the weight of my borders, can make them super thick or more thin. I would say maybe 5 or 6 is a nice place to be. Let's go for 5. And I can also round the corners of every single placeholders, which is super cool. I really like that, okay? It creates, if I want, for example, to change the color of this border for, instead of white, to have it like blue, I could create a very cool effect here. Let me try that. So this blue right here, I could create this very cool effect to have this kind of compartmented image that looks super cool in my opinion. So what I could do here, I can see there is a little bit of white here. I could double click on that image and make it bigger, like so, reframe a little bit. So I'm kind of like deciding what I see in this frame. So similarly, this one right here, character design tutorial, could make it like so. The member only websites could be like so. So you can really reframe anything here. You can zoom on your photos if you want to, like if you want Diana's amazed face like so. And there you go. You have a nice little frame going on here. You can customize your borders and the corner. You can round the corners of every single one of the placeholders. So I love that we can now do this with pretty much anything, any element in Canva, photos, videos, embeds, grids, frames. Everything is now like consistently giving us these options to adjust the way they look. And I have been using these like rounded corners extensively, like lastly. If you watch our recent tutorials, you will see these everywhere because yeah, kind of became addicted. Be careful. And moving on, we have 3 more features to cover, so don't you go anywhere. I'm not done yet. Stay with me. These are cool too. So yeah, let me show you. The next one is called Copy Link Call to Action to easily share your folders. So this one is a simple one as well. To demonstrate it, I will come to my Canva homepage right here. I'm going to head over my projects section. Okay, so click on your project. I'm going to go to folders. Okay, so these are all my folders, not super well organized. Let's say I want to share this folder and everything that's in it with my team or a specific team member. So very easily, I can use the plus button right here, like add people button. Now I have this purple button that says copy link. If I click here, I have copied the link to this specific folder. So I can paste that on Slack, I can paste that in an email, anywhere I want, really. The novelty is simply that button right here. Again, like I told you, not a groundbreaking, revolutionary feature, but these little improvements just make us save clicks, they make us save time and move faster to our goals as content creators. So always welcome. Thank you, Canva, for thinking about that. Another new feature also related to the homepage. This one will only work on desktop. So that is the web version of Canva from a desktop and the desktop app of Canva. So it will not work on mobile. Again, I'm going to come back to my homepage right here. And the novelty is that I can now drag and drop stuff to my sidebar right here and any of the folders that I have pinned to my sidebar. So how do you pin a folder? First, well, you just star it, right? If you star your folder, then it will be pinned right here on your homepage. And you can rearrange these, like the order of these, very easily. But that's not the novelty. The novelty is that you can now take any design right here and just drag them over to this side. For example, this tutorial right here could go to my tutorial folder. This is what's hot, so go to my what's hot folder and just drop it here. Okay, so it says like it has been added to this folder, and if I go and visit this folder, I should find episode 35 of What's Hot right here. So again, that is a novelty. It works only from your desktop versions of Canva for everyone. So yeah, you can just drag and drop stuff from your main section right here straight to one of the folders you have maybe pinned by starring them right here in the left side column. And the last new feature for today, I think we've done a good job, like staying on point and on time for this episode. The last one is called Visual Font Recommendations on Public Fonts. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and read the little note that I made here because it's a subtle change, but it does make sense if you understand what it's all about. So I wrote in my note, previously Canva could only recommend fonts if they had been used in one of their templates, right? And now, this is a novelty, Canva will recommend visually similar alternatives for any public fonts, including monotype fonts. So monotype is this deal that Canva made at the beginning of last year, I believe, to incorporate thousands of new fonts into the Canva library. So if I understood correctly, this change is about the type of fonts that are being recommended when you work with fonts. So for example, if I type my T key on my keyboard, it will create a text box. Because I'm using Canva Pro and we have set in our brand kit the fonts that are default for us. This is Montserrat Extra Bold, if I'm correct. Now, if I click on the font box right here, yeah, this is Montserrat Extra Bold, the recommended fonts, so this area right here, is what's new. I mean, it was already there, but Canva would only recommend specific fonts that had been used in their templates. And I'm not exactly sure what they mean by templates. Is it templates that you have used, you have created, or templates in general in their overall template library? So the novelty is that now they would recommend any font that is public, okay, publicly available in Canva. So I guess there is more recommendation, like more fonts to choose to recommend from, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, it's a subtle change again, but I like that Canva is moving forward in that regard too, in probably using AI to recommend the best font combination. And this is quite useful. Like if you're a designer, you know how important font pairing could be and make a difference in your design. So here, I guess all of these fonts would pair well with my Montserrat Extra Bold here. So I could go, yeah, I could go Prima Nova, something light. So I'm going to duplicate that, come back to my font and choose Prima Nova, something light maybe, to show you that these two fonts kind of pair well together. So there you go. Now you have an AI recommendation from Canva on which font to use with the main font that you selected. All right, I made it through my list. I'm going to leave you with the other episodes of What's Hot. Thank you guys for watching until the end. I will see you in the next video.